Welcome back to another episode of Stacked. And today we're going to be talking about how the sales funnel, it's dead. And here's what replaces it. And also what Google's research has taught us about the real customer journey in the new age. You've been told your customer journey should be a funnel, right? Simple, linear, predictable, such as they need to be aware of you first, so awareness. Then they need to be interested, which means you need to add value. Then they make a decision, they say yes or no, and then they take action. Easy, right? But there's a problem. That is not actually how humans are buying, at least not anymore. In this episode of Stacked, I'll show you how Google shattered the funnel myth and what you should build instead. If you've been wondering why your sales funnel isn't working, this will connect those dots. Google released a research showing that the real buying behavior isn't a funnel at all. Instead, customers bounce around platforms, devices, and formats kind of like this. They might discover you on Instagram and then see your email 3 days later and then look at your Google reviews and then click an ad that you have posted on social media a week later. Then they might listen to a podcast and then maybe they'll click on your link. It's chaotic. It's not linear. And it's not all that controllable, but it is trackable and optimizable if you stop thinking like a funnel builder and start thinking like a touchpoint architect. Google calls it the messy middle. It's the phase between discovery and decision where people are comparing you to competitors, they're getting distracted, they might even go cold, then they re-enter your ecosystem, they ask questions, and then they look for trust signals. And here's the kicker. They're not following your funnel. They're actually creating their own. So instead of forcing a rigid path, build intentional touch points across the places they actually hang out. And here's what that means for your business. 1, you need to be visible in multiple places. This is why we post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, even Pinterest. We also have search history that we're showing up on Google My Business. We have emails. We just launched this podcast. We have referral and affiliate programs, all the places. 2, we need to be consistent messaging across those platforms. So what we might be talking about may differ, but the brand voice, the tone, and the colors is consistent. 3, we're letting automations catch and guide them no matter where they enter. We have automations that we built 3 years ago on freebies that we thought would pop off, and they were complete and total duds. But now we have people finding those landing pages and funneling through. And because we automated the entire process, they're being handled exactly how we wanted them to be. 3 years ago is when we thought it would go. Today is when it's actually happening. 4, we're going to track behavior and follow up accordingly. So again, our timing was off. Our resource wasn't wrong, but our timing was off. Now that we can track that, we can adjust our social media and what we're posting about. We can adjust what we're talking about on this podcast. We can adjust the questions that we're asking our customers, and we can even adjust the solutions that we're offering. What you want is lead magnets that live in your LinkedIn bio. You want nurture emails that loop people back to your services. You want to remarket ads for people who browsed but didn't buy. And you want a website that converts no matter when they arrive. You're not just building a path, you're building a web, a big giant spider web with your offer at the very center. A recent Dallowry Flow client came in frustrated because her funnel wasn't converting, but she was posting on Instagram. She had a podcast episodes, her calendar was open, and she had no way to connect the dots. So what we created was a centralized lead tracker, which is Dallowry Flow. We automated to tag visitors based on the different sources so she can see where they're coming in and what their interest is. We then added smart email sequences based on where they entered her ecosystem and on their behavior. And then we made sure to set up booking reminders and follow-ups across the platforms. The result is she stopped obsessing over what step they're in because it no longer mattered, and she started focusing on what they're doing now. Conversions doubled in a month without changing her traffic or even her content volume. The funnel is dead, but that doesn't mean your growth is. Start thinking in touch points, triggers, and trust signals. That's how modern customers actually move. If you want to map your messy middle and build a system that supports it, check out dallowryflow.io. We help businesses like yours turn chaos into clarity, one automation at a time. Thanks for listening to Stacked, where we automate, elevate, and repeat.